Satisfactory is my favorite game of all time, and let me show you why. So, my first stream of Satisfactory was April 20th of 2020. Pretty long time ago. But it was not the first time I had ever played the game. This was just the first time that I had ever streamed it. You see, this is the second base that I had ever built. There is another base that the remnants of are still in this same world, but that base I built off stream. So unfortunately I don't have any footage of me building that base or anything like that, but it is still there, it's just an empty shell. But we will get to more on my original base a little bit later. Trust me, it'll tie into the story later on than if I explain it right now. So why is Satisfactory one of my favorite games of all time? Well, it mostly just comes down to one word: progression. Most games nowadays don't really have, that gameplay loop that really keeps me engaged, for a certain amount of time. And I'd say usually within like an hour or so of playing other games, I kind of get bored. But Satisfactory's progression is different. It's not like anything I've ever played, but there are two other games that I have played that have amazing progression. And I love both of those games so much. It's Factorio and Terraria. Now, one thing for me personally that separates, Factorio and Terraria with Satisfactory is that Satisfactory is first person. And for me personally, I like first person games, more than really anything. It's so much nicer being immersed in the world that way than being like looking from, top down like Factorio, or looking throughout the side with Terraria. But I don't really want to compare those two games to Satisfactory, because they're, even though Factorio as well is a factory game, like Satisfactory, they're so very different and offer two different, types of players, I feel, and Terraria is just completely different, And I'm not trying to say that games that aren't first person are bad or anything like that, I still love games that aren't first person, obviously, because, Factorio and Terraria are some of my favorite games. It's just games that are first person, just, they hit home a little bit more for me, if that makes sense. Okay, so back to what I was talking about earlier, of how Satisfactory's progression is different compared to other games. And that kind of is what led me to make this video. I was thinking the other day, I was like, Satisfactory's, it kind of just hit me. I was like, Satisfactory's progression is way different than any other game that I've ever really played. And it comes down to literally just one thing of, if you think about it, think about Factorio and Terraria. In both of those games, to progress, it's more so of a need, right? Whenever you're building on like a big scale factory in Factorio. You know, if you're building a gigantic factory in Factorio, it's not really because, like, just because you want to. Like, it can be, it definitely can be. But it's more so because you need all of that stuff to progress. And same with Terraria. In Terraria, you know, you need to go down, uh, you know, into whatever that place is called with all the lava. You need to go down there and fight the wall of flesh, you know, to progress into the next stage of the game, into hard mode. But in Satisfactory, I feel like the progression is more so of a want. And let me explain. So it's more of a want in a way of, in a sense of, you don't necessarily have to go like all out and go like a huge factory like I did, you know, like you saw in the intro. You don't have to do all that. You can just use like one little, you know, constructor or one little smelter. It would be very, very slow. But Satisfactory's progression, it sucks you into a point to where it's like, I want to do all of this stuff, you know? I want to make this huge, insane factory. I want to do all of this. Funny enough, um, my friend just started playing. I just like got him into Satisfactory not too long ago. And he was looking at my factory and he was like, I want that. He's like, I want something that big. And his factory at first, when he started playing, was kind of like, it was just on the ground, you know how we all start in Satisfactory. We started like everything like all over the ground and stuff like that. And once he saw how cleaned up and how big my base was and like all the different things that you can do, he was like, I want to do that. I want that huge base. Funny enough, I actually have a great example. You guys probably know that YouTuber named Kavitz. Kavitz was the one that got me into Satisfactory. I mean, after I saw his base, and again, when I started, all of my stuff was on the ground. My base was, like, I had one, but it was not the best at all. And once I saw his world and what you can actually do in this game, that's when the addiction started. But that's the amazing part about Satisfactory. I found myself many times just building like massive projects for no reason at all, just because it was fun to do. And that's what makes Satisfactory so much fun and so special. And the best part too is that now that I have built those bigger projects for no reason, whenever I actually needed some of them, they were there. Like, for example, I think it's on like the 6th floor of my base, I built this massive factory that makes rubber, and it makes like 1,200 rubber a minute. And my base uses like 20 rubber a minute. Like, I barely use any of that rubber, and I have multiple spots in my base where I'm making rubber. So there was no point at all in me filling an entire floor of my base just to make rubber, but it's there. If I ever need it, or if I need rubber in the future, then I have it. Or another really, really good example, actually, is the drone port behind my base. God, that drone station, I call it the drone base. I have like a hypertube that takes me there. It's literally just this platform, this gigantic platform that's floating behind my base that has a lot of machines and stuff in it. You guys probably also saw that in the intro. And that base can support 60 drones. Like, I'm making enough batteries in my base to support 60 drones. And right now, I think I'm using like 5 of those drones, maybe. But just in case there is another resource that's super, super far away, I have plenty enough drones to be able to bring all of the resources back to my base. And it's convenient, so I don't have to place belts everywhere. But also, just in case there is like too much resources, I also built a backup train. So just in case the drones aren't enough, I have one more extra train that I can use, or one more extra train station that has 2 trains that go to it. So hopefully I'll be able to bring back enough of whatever it is. I also want to touch on playing Satisfactory with friends because that is amazing. I have multiple friends that play Satisfactory, and we've all been to each other's worlds. We've all played together, and it's been an absolute blast. Like Satisfactory, like I was saying before, it has such a unique just experience with friends. So one person wants to work on one project, one person wants to work on another project, and then it just kind of snowballs into this whole big project between everyone, you know? Or going into different caves because we needed a certain ore in there, and then we hear spiders and we run away. Can't do it, and I still won't do it. It's crazy. Even after like 1,000 hours, I still do not like the spiders in this game. Another unique experience that I had was me trying to design a jump pad elevator and it failing over and over and over again. You guys should probably be seeing that on screen now. It's little stuff like that that just makes the game so much fun. And I want to, actually, funny enough, I want to finish that design one day because I never finished it. And I want to get that somewhere in my base. I don't know how I can implement that, but if you guys have any ideas of how I could implement like a jump pad style elevator into my base, please let me know in the comments, because that would be greatly appreciated, because right now it's just sitting there and I don't know what to do with it. I also have a video on that jump pad elevator on my channel. If you guys would like to watch it, it is here. So to kind of wrap up this video, even though I don't play Satisfactory nearly as much as I used to back then, Satisfactory will always be my favorite game pretty much of all time. Probably no matter what game comes out, unless Coffee Stain releases another game. Imagine. And there's like a Satisfactory 2. That'd be sick. Right now I'm kind of just waiting for the next update, because I don't know, whatever the next update is gonna be about for Satisfactory, I'm ready. Everything in my base is prepared, and I've kind of just been sitting back and watching from the sidelines and seeing what happens. So if there's another huge update ever again, if they add like a bunch of new buildings and more items and stuff to craft or anything like that, I will be right back on top of it, I promise. And I guess that kind of leads me to the last thing that I wanted to really talk about, like Satisfactory right now. And right now, the game's in a great state. If you haven't tried it, definitely play it, definitely pick it up. It is an amazing game. But so far, the past few updates, at least for me, there hasn't really been much in them that I really wanted to play, or really come back to. I've come back to the new past 3 updates, and I've made one stream on them to look at some of the new stuff, and then I kind of just disappeared again. So I'm hoping maybe they'll add some new building, just maybe just one, something that I can work with. That would be cool. Whenever they added the fluid packer into the game, that was great. Just one little building that I can do videos or stream with, or I can even look at my base and be like, oh, I can use this building to replace this now or replace that now. just something different. And there hasn't really been that for a while in Satisfactory, so that's kind of why I haven't really played in quite some time. But getting back into the game for this video was great. I'm definitely gonna play it a bit more because there is some more stuff that I want to do with my base that I didn't really get around to doing, and there is a project that I want to do as well. So if you guys, want to see me do that project, let me know. I stream on this channel pretty much every single day. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I definitely enjoyed making it. It took me so incredibly long, a couple of days. I kept scrapping it and then redoing it, and then I had to write a script for this because I just couldn't figure out how I wanted to explain it, and then some things went wrong and then I would scrap it again. So if you guys enjoyed and you want to see more Satisfactory content from me, please leave a like. It will help me out so much, as I love doing stuff like this, and if you guys like it, then I'll know to keep doing it. And yeah, like I said, I stream on this channel all the time, so please subscribe. If you're new, that'd be great. Don't forget the bell. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.